Hi everyone, I'm Ian Scholes, Associate Pastor at King's. Spend most of my time at Bolton campuses, but like to get around all of them. I'm just doing a devotional today for our Fortnight of Faith. It's a really massive part of the life of our church and what we're doing. And it's just really important that we all start looking at how we can build our faith, how we can grow our faith. And as I've been thinking about it and building up to our move and everything else that's going on, it's just so fascinating how God often associates building people's faith with creation. And I've just brought you to a place which is a fantastic, beautiful view on a beautiful day. And it just says in the Bible, in Hebrews 11:3, by faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command. So that's what's seen was not made out of what was visible. And that's the whole deal about faith. It's about what we see is not always visible, and what God's taken us into is not always visible. But there is something about those moments just before something drastically changes in the Bible, where God puts people in places that they will remember. Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, a place of creation where he was going to face the biggest step of faith for anybody. Moses on the top of Mount Sinai getting the 10 Commandments. Joshua before he crossed into the Promised Land, there was rivers and deserts and all sorts of good stuff involved. And sometimes there's just these moments where we need to look up and see what God's created. And as he spoke, this thing came into being, which is all the world that we see around us. And it builds our faith. And I just remember the passage where God is speaking to Abraham, who's known as a man of faith, but in this moment he's sat in his tent and he's thinking about stuff, and he's wondering how it's ever going to happen, and the promise of God to have all these children and be the father of nations, and he can't get his head around it, and it's just too big for him to think about. And he walks out of his tent because God says, get out your tent, look up to the skies and count the stars, if that's even possible, and try and understand that I can do absolutely anything for you. And we need to understand that in our lives, that as the things that God speaks to us about, we can't see how they're going to physically happen in our world. We need to just get out and look at what God has already created all around us. We need to see what God has already done in our lives, and we need to stop thinking in the place of restriction in our little tent, and we need to unzip the tent and walk out, look up to the stars, or look out at creation and look what God has already done in us and in others, and start to understand that God can do absolutely anything if we put our faith in him. So I hope that's been helpful. Some of the things that I just really want to get you excited about is just put into faith little things. Don't need to start with anything too dramatic, but just put your faith in God for the little things that are going on in your life. And those little things will grow your faith and expand your faith till you get to the point where you can look up, you can count the stars, and you can trust God, and you can follow God for absolutely anything he's got for you. So let's just pray together as we finish. God, we just thank you so much that your creation is beautiful, and everywhere we look we can see what out of nothing you have created. And that is such a great description of faith, that out of nothing you can create wonderful things. So God, in our lives, we just ask that you will do some incredible things this week, that you, out of nothing, will change circumstances, will bring breakthrough, will allow us to go after the things that have always been on our hearts, so we can do some incredible things for you and grow our faith day in and day out. Amen. Have a great time, guys. Hope you're enjoying the Fortnight of Faith, and look forward to seeing you all soon at one of our campuses on Sundays. Speak to you soon. Bye.